Alright, we're back, and as promised, there will be more, and I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon, but with that in mind, we're actually going to get more into the pro wrestling realm of things, and of course, there are actually a few different videos that are actually focused solely on the women of wrestling, or at least women in wrestling today, and this video is not going to be any different with that, so we're going to just jump right into it. Now, a good chunk of this is actually going to be regarding potential WWE signings. So with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and get started, specifically with the Tonga twins. Of course, you see two different pictures. That's because the one on this side of it right here, I guess that would be the left or the right, either way. This is what they look like in their ring gear as a part of WOW, or Women of Wrestling, which they, last time I checked, were the tag team champions there. I'm not sure if that's still the case. I don't keep up with WOW as much as I should, especially because they've actually got some really prime women's talent over there. I gotta say that, you know, it was actually something that AJ Lee was a part of for some time, or April Mendez, however you want to refer to her. CM Punk's wife, of course. And I'm not sure what her ties with the company are now, but she's got some good ones that are heading this way in these two, Chaos and Kona. I gotta say, they're very much as big and imposing as you would expect them to be. A lot of people are actually anticipating that they could be a part of a female bloodline, which, honestly, I wouldn't say no to that. I actually would be shocked if that weren't the case, but of course the picture that's more to the right or to the left, whatever, you see them, of course, they're at the Performance Center, which they were sighted there, and it looks like all signs are pointing to them signing with WWE. So I gotta say, they're not only stacking the women's division, but it seems they may actually look to get serious about that tag division as well, which, honestly, I can't say no to that. And again, they got some really good ones. They're going to be fantastic for said tag division, especially with the group that you've got with Sonya, Shayna, and Zoe coming together. Of course, if they were actually serious, the women's tag division right now could actually be pretty damn good. This right here is very likely going to put it even more so on the map than it already was. But let's see how they go about things if and when that time actually comes. So we're going to move from one potential WWE signing to another here. Well, I guess two of them technically. We kind of are doing this in pairs. I guess that might also be a low-key theme of this video. I don't know. I didn't even think about that. Anyway, this young lady right here is known as Rio, and with the spelling, there's going to be some confusion, let's be clear, but it's spelled R-H-I-O. She's actually with Progress Wrestling right now, I believe is their women's world champion. And of course, this lady right here, this incredibly frightening force to look at right now, goes by the name of Delta. She's an Australian wrestler who actually comes from around the same area of which Rhea Ripley is originating from, which I believe is South Adelaide, Australia. So this is going to be really, really fun to see, because both of them are power wrestlers from what I've seen of their highlights. Especially Delta, who actually goes all of 5'10" and 176 pounds, which, you know, basically a little taller than me and about my weight, but all that aside, you know, she's obviously going to be similar to Rhea. She's going to be, like I said, a powerhouse, her and Rio. Rio actually is a little bit more versatile, has actually a bit more of the quickness game to what she does in terms of off the rope and even top rope moves. She also just can actually do luchador type stuff. I mean, it's really impressive to see with the little bit that I've seen of both of them. And they've already added we're already factoring in Stephanie Vacour and Julia to the mix. I mean, that's already going to make things wild as it is, especially when it comes to NXT. But you add these two, and mind you, up until recently, I had never heard of either of these two. I mean, there was a recent article that came out. I actually found out about Delta through Ango. He actually pointed that out in one of his recent videos, as I had never heard of her before that. Checked her out. Again, very impressive stuff there. Same thing with Rio here. I'm failing to see a scenario that once signed, these women do not make an impact. I just feel like as long as everything comes together right, which based on everything that we've seen thus far, I have a tough time believing that that won't be the case. And the best has got to be yet to come when it comes to this women's division. But I wouldn't say that's necessarily true with just those divisions in specific, or at least that division in specific, when it comes to WWE, what they're doing, and especially their crossover with TNA and NXT. But we got to talk a little bit about AEW as well, and we're going to talk real quickly about the Renegade Twins here. Now, why are we talking about the Renegade Twins? Well, I guess you could argue there really isn't all that much reason. They're not all that heavily featured on AEW, and really they're actually focal points of Ring of Honor, if I could even say that, and that's hard for me to say because I haven't followed Ring of Honor all that strongly either, but that could change. And apparently there's news of the TV deal. Man, I almost forgot. I am going to bring up one piece of breaking news, which is also going to be significant for the AEW TV deal, but it seems Turner, or Warner Brothers Discovery, is going to match the offer made by Amazon, which that seemed to be the front runner. A lot of people were thinking it could be NBC, but Amazon's offer was top offer, and it seems Turner is going to match it. We'll see where the NBA goes on that, more in another video. But I bring that up because apparently things could change where Ring of Honor is concerned. So when I talk about that, you have the Renegade Twins here. What happens when you add to that? Specifically, what happens when you add TBS champion, double champ with NPJ strong, NJPW strong women's champion, Mercedes Moné, and put all this together in one nice little faction, which could actually have another member or two added to that somewhere along the way. That said, this is where I gotta believe, coupled with everything you have going on with the Mariah May, Toni Storm storyline, and a whole host of other things that are going on with AEW and their women's division right now, I gotta say I like what this could mean. And I bring this up specifically because it turns out that there's already a relationship between Mercedes and the Renegade Twins, as it turns out. So I'm going to go ahead and venture to guess what happens from here, especially given that we've got this storyline between Mercedes and Britt Baker. As, wow, speaking of interesting stuff, I'm seeing some things with Raw right now that I'll have to talk about in another video. But anyway, apologies for my distraction of that. And, oh my, this is, wow. Anyway, let me stop being distracted and focus on what we're talking about right now. Even with that distraction, though, none of that should be indicative of what's happening with AEW's women's division. They're being booked in all of the correct directions finally. And so many things that are happening right now that should have been happening some time ago, we're finally getting, and we're going to be getting it, I think, in spades, you know. Now, as long as they can put it all together and it actually fits in as it should with just, again, everything that we've seen. And AEW's product to this point has actually been immensely better than what it has been the last couple of years. So I gotta say, I like what we could get from this, and everything else around it, within it, whatever. So I'll go ahead and leave it at that for now. Y'all know what it is. Let me know what y'all think. I mean, could this be a good faction right here? I feel like it's going to be something. Oh, yeah, and to just go even further as far as the whole thing regarding Britt Baker. If this does come to fruition, expect the Renegade Twins to interfere in the match at All In. But with that in mind, let me know what y'all think down below. Y'all know what it is. Like, share, subscribe if y'all are new and if y'all enjoyed. And I am A&J. There will be more.